Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. XRP futures, what? Take a look at the headline. Crypto exchange OKX launches XRP and Ethereum Classic futures. Plans roll out for Tron and Bitcoin SV, but we don't care about Tron and Bitcoin SV. This is an XRP-centric channel, damn it. There we go. No, it's cool. Don't worry, I'm not an XRP maxi. I think most of you know that. I'm just joking here, but this is interesting. I want to talk about this. I want to talk a little bit conceptually about futures. I'm not sure how many of you out there know much about them, so we're going to kind of run through a little bit of just factual stuff on that front. And then I've got this article. Santander teases U.S.-Mexico remittances. Will banking giant utilize XRP? Oh, Santander, you little tease, why don't you just come right out and tell us? This is fun, though. I love this stuff. We're talking about the maturation of the entire asset class, and I view XRP as leading the way, largely thanks to Ripple. But before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you are a fan of Ripple and XRP, do the right thing and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. We have a killer time here every day. Shout out to Robert Thompson, who tagged me along with the digital asset investor, my fellow XRP YouTuber. Tagged me in this first piece that we're going to run through here. Again, crypto exchange OKX launches XRP. So Malta-based digital asset exchange OKX is introducing XRP and Ethereum Classic futures contracts today. OKX is currently the world's largest cryptocurrency derivatives exchange by 24-hour trading volume. That's according to data from CoinGecko. Both the XRP and ETC futures are settled in the stablecoin Tether, USDT, and users can trade weekly, bi-weekly, and quarterly contracts. And so, of course I like this. Why would I not like this? It's futures contracts for XRP, right? The only, you know what would make this even more exciting? It's you know how I've been talking about it a little bit lately. I guess it's been a little minute, but just backed in their physically settled Bitcoin futures contracts. Now that conceptually is more exciting. Not the Bitcoin part. Come on, you're talking to Moon Lambo here. This is an XRP channel. Damn it, I already said that. But physically settled futures are actually important because in the case of Bitcoin and the futures contracts there, it actually has to be held. And so you know what that does to supply and demand, right? If entities want to have futures contracts with physically settled Bitcoin, they have to actually have the Bitcoin in the first place, right? So similarly with XRP, and I've been saying this for a while, and it hasn't happened yet, but there will one day by reputable entities, there's going to be physically settled XRP futures contracts. Just mark my words on that. It's coming. So there we go. OKX also does offer Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash futures contracts. We don't really care about that, right? These are available for trading on the exchange's USDT margined futures market, which went live on November 14th, 2019. So it actually hasn't been going on that long. Right? And if I'm being honest, and I am, because Moon Lambo is a truth teller, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. The news on that, I probably, if I saw it on my screen, it probably just didn't catch my attention, but I didn't notice it. But then here you go, throw XRP in the headline, and Moon Lambo's like, what? Tell me more. So anyway, here's a quote now. This is from OKX CEO Jay Howe. He said, "The simulation of our USDT futures contract was very successful, and we received positive feedback from traders in the OKX community. We've developed a safe, reliable, and stable environment for cryptocurrency trading and strive to offer new services based on our customers' interests. And we're excited to add USDT linear contract to our futures market and next on the perpetual swap market to meet the interests of our growing international user base." And you know what I just thought, which is unrelated to that, but I'm going to share it with you because it does pertain to crypto, and it's a cryptocurrency exchange you might have heard of called Binance. I remember a couple years ago, and they might have ultimately fixed this, but it was just kind of funny to me because it was just like language was a little bit off. It was, Binance not being exactly a U.S.-based entity, when you would complete a trade on Binance, a little window would pop up and it would say succeed with an exclamation point. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about, and hopefully somebody out there is laughing and or smiling, because it would crack me up. Me and Moonbay, we would just crack up every time we would we would use it instead of success, because I know what that meant, but there's probably some sort of language miscommunication thing there. But it would just say succeed. So there you go. Maybe I should end all of my videos like that from now on. Succeed. That's pretty much it. And so here was the initial announcement, which really didn't make the headlines, but now it's getting covered. This is from the OKX website, XRP USDT, and futures to be available along with the Ethereum Classic, of course, there. So now it's live. So as far as futures contracts, it's the use of this. It's to, in theory, if you're talking about crypto, you can talk about how much this actually helps, but it's kind of designed to limit risk, basically, as far as trade. So it's just a promise to buy or sell an asset at a future price. And so what's the purpose? Like using futures contracts to hedge, what's the purpose, really? So when a company knows that it will be making a purchase in the future for a particular item, it should take a long position in a futures contract to hedge its position. For example, suppose that company X knows that in 6 months it will have to buy 20,000 ounces of silver to fulfill an order. Assume the spot price for silver is $12 an ounce and the 6-month futures price is $11 an ounce. By buying the futures contract, Company X can lock in a price of $11 an ounce. This reduces the company's risk because it will be able to close its futures position and buy 20,000 ounces of silver for $11 an ounce in 6 months. And so, of course, that's an example not using crypto, but if you think price is going one way or another, you can absolutely lock it in. But in this terms, it's they're talking about risking exposure. So if a company knows that it will be selling a certain item, it should take a short position in a futures contract to hedge its position. As an example, Company X must fulfill a contract in 6 months that requires it to sell 20,000 ounces of silver. Assume the spot price for silver is $12 an ounce and the futures price is $11 an ounce. Company X would short futures contracts on silver and close out the futures position in 6 months. In this case, the company has reduced its risk by ensuring that it will receive $11 for each ounce of silver it sells. So, makes sense, right? And, of course, look, all of this, it's basically we're talking about traditional financial infrastructure. It's all getting expanded to crypto now. It's a no-brainer. Crypto asset class is here to stay. It is not going away, and there are many legit reasons for that. It's because there's real-world utility. You can do things with cryptocurrencies that you just absolutely, from a technological and a trust perspective, you just can't do outside of this technology. It's just not going to happen. So it is indeed here to stay. There's a reason there are market values. People just, in terms of the price action, though, people just don't know what the hell they're doing. It's just almost entirely speculative at this point. But there will be winners. There will be many, many winners in this space. Not 2,000. There's like over 2,000 cryptocurrencies now, but there will be a number. Shout out to Robert Thompson again here. You're an all-star today, good sir. Tagged me in this next article along with the digital asset investor, which is Santander teases U.S.-Mexico remittances. Will banking giant utilize XRP? Well, let's find out. XRP investors are tracking an upcoming announcement from Spanish banking giant Santander. Santander chairman Anna Boten tells Bloomberg the company plans to officially announce the launch of a new remittances program next week. And here's a quote. At the other end of the spectrum, many Mexicans are sending, I think, $36 billion every year from the U.S. to Mexico. We are launching a fast, competitive remittances program initially just from the Santander branches to any bank in Mexico. Santander is a longtime Ripple partner that uses the company's payment messaging system, which is designed to rival SWIFT in its payment app, OnePayFX. So this goes back to what I keep saying is simply that, so the corridors are being built out for on-demand liquidity right now, and there's just, I mean, the volume right now, of course we see it going up and we celebrate that, cool, because we're part of the XRP community, makes sense, but it's a pittance to what it will be in the future, and there's no way that, if you're a financial institution, a bank, a remittance company, whatever you are, and you're participating, competing in these corridors for business, you are going to be left in the dust if you don't reduce your expenses by utilizing on-demand liquidity where it's available. And so here you go. And this is obviously a major one, Santander, obviously a Ripple partner, but that's why, to me, how is the answer not going to be yes? So anyway, XRP investors are hoping an upcoming announcement from Santander will reveal that the company plans to begin using Ripple's XRP-powered product called On-Demand Liquidity, ODL, to move money across borders. Right? Mexico is one of the first countries where on-demand liquidity is up and running. Yeah, obviously it's them and the Philippines were the first two corridors to be announced and actually implemented back in October of 2018 when we found out that XRapid, the beta version of it, went into production, now known as on-demand liquidity, of course. But Ripple partner MoneyGram says it's currently processing 10% of its transactions volume between the U.S. and Mexico using ODL. And although XRP enthusiasts have long searched for signs that Santander will also begin using XRP as a bridge currency, so far the company has remained silent on whether it's exploring the use of the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap. And so when I read stuff like that, it's like I understand that those people in the world of crypto that are not into XRP, some of them Bitcoin maxis out there, for them it's still a question mark. Is this going to happen? And for me, and of course none of this is financial advice, no financial background here whatsoever. I'm just a member of the XRP community. It was fun putting out YouTube videos because it's my most favoritist hobby ever. It just is. But for us here in the XRP community, it's not a question of if, it's just when, and at what pace are these entities going to jump on board. And of course, a lot of that depends on what quarters we're talking about as they come online, but it's a no-brainer. If it's actually solving a problem and it's saving money, and then if XRP holders and speculators know that XRP has to be used, what do you think is going to happen long-term with the price? Is it going to stay at 22 cents forever? Whatever it is, I don't know what it is. The second is, it's right around there. I think the answer is no. Now, of course, again, not financial advice, but that's just my firm opinion. And that's why I love reporting on this stuff every day. And every single day, there's too much for me to cover. There really is. You know, I map out my videos, and sometimes I'm like 3 or 4. Like that's pretty normal for me. And what I used to do is my videos used to be like 2 or 3 times as long, and then I was putting out fewer of them, and then I just kind of like spread out roughly the same amount of content into more videos because I got feedback from people, and that seems to be the route people wanted to go. Some people like the longer format, but most people wanted it shorter, so I listened, and I'm happy to do it. It's fine. But I think I might have forgot where I was going with that now. Squirrel! What's that from? Somebody knows what that's from. It's some sort of animated movie. Shoot, I really did lose my thought on that. How embarrassing. Somebody's like, unsubscribe! Sorry. Whatever. Maybe I should just wrap up the video. Maybe it's a sign I just need to wrap this one up and just let that one lie. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I, again, am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo! Oh, wait a minute! If you stuck around, I just remember what I was going to say. I just remembered it. It was I was going to state that there's so much news out there that I better have already clicked away because I did my outro. But no, I was going to say that there's just so much news out there that I literally can't cover it entirely. And so sometimes when I'm mapping out my videos, which I typically do in the mornings if I have time, and I usually don't get around to record them until later in the day, is if there's too much and I know it's too much for me to thoroughly discuss, I have this little extra section, and I'll put all of the links to all the stories and content that I can't cover that I'd like to, but it would just be too time consuming. And so almost every day there are multiple stories and content from the community and other types of areas, you know, whether it's just crypto media or traditional media, whatever it is, it's too much to cover. And so what I kind of wanted to say is the reason that's the case, because you don't see this kind of coverage with every single cryptocurrency. Even like you can go to bitcoinist.com and you can go to newsbtc.com, you can go to Tron Weekly. It's XRP, XRP, XRP. It really, I mean, of course they cover other stuff fine, but XRP is notably in the headlines, and I have to attest to that, given that I'm thoroughly researching this, and I go to tons of different crypto media outlets every single day. It's endless XRP. I'm telling you, there's something to this, so don't let them trick you into thinking that we're stupid. This is clearly getting traction. It is here to stay. Not financial advice. But anyway, should I do my outro again? That'd be weird, right? I already did it once. I've never done it twice. To the moon, Lambo!